industry, our president will tell in detail, it started in 1964 by the great and legendary Biju Patnaik with the aim to flock the associations for their common needs. And this has grown leaps and bounds, and now we have more than 1,000 members from different sectors. Like there are large, mega, small, teeny, and from trade sectors also there are representation. And we have now, currently we have around 1,000 corporates, big, small trading company from all sectors representing Utkal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Utkal Chamber of Commerce and Industry is privileged to be associated with Frost and organize this seminar, 2-day international conference on green technology in coastal and inland water transportation. So this is indeed a proud moment for UCCIL to be associated with Frost, sir. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to hold this international conference in collaboration with Frost. I now invite Dr. Prabodh Mahanti, our President, UCCIL, to please come on the dais. Professor S.C. Mishra, President Frost, to please come on the dais. Professor R.P. Gokan, the chief guest of this conference, to please grace this occasion by coming to the dais. Welcome, sir. Professor Kesav Dev, Director IMU Vizag, to please come on the dais. Professor is a guest of honor of today's international conference. Welcome, sir. I now request to welcome the guests on the dais with a flower pot presented by Dr. I.V. Solanki to President UCCIL. Dr. M. Joshi to Professor S.C. Mishra. Mr. A. Patnaik to Professor R.P. Gokan, Chief Guest. Mr. P.K. Panigrahi to Professor Kesav Dev. Thank you very much. I now request to play the national anthem and request all to rise up. National anthem. Please play the national anthem.
गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. I now request the dignitaries on the dais to please light the lamp for beginning this auspicious international conference. Our directors, Mr. J.K. Rath, Vice President Industry, and Mr. Santosh Agarwal may kindly join.
दीपज्योति परं ज्योति
दीपज्योति परं ज्योति दीपज्योति जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापम् दीपज्योति नमोऽस्तुते शुभं करोतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदः द्वेषबुद्धिविनाशाय आत्मज्योति नमोऽस्तुते आत्मज्योति प्रदीप्ताय ब्रह्म.
Thank you. Now, with the auspicious lighting of the lamp, the stage is set for the international conference to roll on. I now request our newly elected president, Dr. Prabodh Mahanti, to give the welcome address.
Namaskar. Very good morning to all of you. Professor S.C. Mishra, President Frost, Professor R.P. Gokan, Chief Guest of this morning, Professor Keshav Dev, Director IMU Vizag, the guest of honor, invitees, delegates, members of media, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this two-day international seminar on green technologies in coastal and inland water transportation. We are actually extremely happy to be associated with Frost for hosting this two-day international seminar. As our secretary has already told, so a new team has taken over Utkal Chamber of Commerce. I am the president, just taken over on 1st of October. So this is our first program. So we are really delighted that this seminar shall be very successful. And as you know, this is a very relevant topic for a state like Odisha. Odisha has immense potential in coastal and inland water transportation. It is, as you know, Odisha has a long coastline of about 480 kilometers, dotted with important ports like Paradip Port, which is one of the largest port of India, handles a huge volume of cargo, mainly iron ore, coal, crude oil. And then Dhamra Port, which is operated by Adani Group. That is, of course, one of the bigger ports. Another is Gopalpur Port, which is primarily also handling cargo of iron ore and coal. And some few more are also on the anvil. It may come future smaller ports. Likewise, inland waterways, we have Mahanadi River, Baitarani, Brahmani River, which has great potential. So, but sadly, till now, it's not been explored. I thought the Inland Waterways Authority and Odisha government has some discussion on that, how to develop it. Of course, our Principal Secretary Commerce and Transport Department, Mrs. Usha Padi, will be here around 12 o'clock. So she will be able to give the government's perspective. So this is as you know, Odisha is the steel hub of India. So Odisha is poised to produce around 100 million ton of steel by 2030. For that to happen, you have to move about 200 million ton of iron ore, about similar quantity of coal and other mineral also. So to move almost 500 million ton of raw material in a year to the consuming industries, to the ports, you need alternative method of transportation. You cannot just clog the roadways, or railway network is so not adequately addressed in Odisha. Also, slurry pipelines are thought of, they are coming, but most, I think, the best transportation will be through the inland waterway and coastal waterways. So in countries like China, and where most of our iron ore is exported, there they have this inland waterway system. Through barge they move this iron ore and coal to the steel plants as well as back to the ports. So that is needed to be explored. And in this 2 days seminar, I'm sure with the experts that are present here, so we'll be deliberate on this and come out with some solutions so that all the stakeholders, including the government of Odisha, will do something so that we are geared up. We are geared up so that by the 2030, when we are ready with 100 million of steel production, so there will be a solution in sight. So once again, I welcome you all the delegates. Enjoy your stay in Bhubaneswar. Bhubaneswar is a beautiful city. Whoever come outside, so your stay will be beautiful. You can visit also Puri if you want. So once again, I welcome and wish the 2-day international seminar all the success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Prabodh Mahanti, President, Utkal Chamber of Commerce and Industry Limited, for the wonderful deliberation and this welcome address. I now request President Frost, Professor S.C. Mishra, to talk about the objectives of this seminar.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor R.P. Gokan, our guest of an honor, Professor Keshav Dev, and Utkal Chamber of Commerce and Industries Limited President, Mr. Prabodh Mahanti, distinguished invitees and delegates. I believe there are a few students also. I welcome them and for being here with us. Frost held a first international conference on inland waterway systems in 2019, and at that time there was a demand that such a conference concerning inland waters and coastal waters of the country should be held by Frost again. Then came COVID, and during COVID we could not obviously hold a physical conference, but we did have a e-conference on pollution of rivers and coastal waters, and we had a very distinguished set of invitees who gave us the deliberations in video mode, and now that has been made into a e-book, the presentations, and this is available in the Frost documents. It's free. So anybody who wishes to have this can let us know and we will pass it on to them. This conference more specifically talks about transportation, particularly green technologies in transportation in inland and coastal waters. Keeping in tune with the green environment, we have decided not to use any plastic material in this conference. So as a result, you will not find water bottles, plastic water bottles. This obviously brings into focus a little bit of inconvenience. If you want a glass of water, then you have to go out, take a paper cup and fill it up from the canister. So I thought that it's worthwhile to go ahead with this, though it causes a little bit of inconvenience. Also, you will note that we have given potted plants as presents to our dignitaries on the dais. That's also in keeping with our green technology focus. Technical session of this conference starts with a keynote address by Professor O.P. Shah of IIT Kharagpur, who will give us an overview of electrical power systems in boats. And following this, we have 6 technical sessions spread over 2 days, each session being of 1.5 hours duration. Each session has about 4 to 5 papers. Therefore, for each paper there is a duration of between 18 to 22 minutes. So I'll request the respective chairmen to discuss with their presenters in that session to distribute the time in actual presentation and question answers. At the end of the 6th session, we have something interesting. Frost has started a student competition, codec, creativity, engineering in design, something. Codec is a nation-based competition in relation to water. We have started this in 2022, and every year the prizes are distributed at the end of next year. So this year we will be distributing the prizes for Codec 2023. Most of the prize winners are here. Maybe some prize winners are not present. Their awards will be sent to them. So that is there, and we have also asked the presenters, the prize winners, to give a short presentation of the project on which they have got the prize. So that would be a total duration of half an hour or so. This will be followed by a panel discussion on development of maritime activities in Odisha. This will be chaired by Professor Sinoy, a retired professor of Southampton University, UK, and the panelists will be people amongst us who are present, and the conclusions from the panel will be passed on to the necessary bodies, particularly government bodies. We are aware, as our previous speaker has said, we don't know what the government does. Maybe not much has been done, but we'll still pass on the deliberations as a part of our activity. As our president has already, Utkal Association president has already said, Madam Usa Pari will be here around 12 o'clock. So we'll get the government projections on inland water transport. And therefore, there will be a little time adjustment in the first session, in this session and the inauguration session. We have had some problems regarding transport arrangement for our guests. I am sorry that there was a disruption. There was a massive disruption of air travel and train travel, and as a result, a few of the delegates have been inconvenienced, and Frost actually apologizes to any inconvenience that might have been caused. I hope with your goodness you will excuse us. As our president, Utkal Association president has already said, Bhubaneswar is a beautiful city. It's called a temple city, a lot of temples here. And this is also a capital of the state of Odisha. And Odisha is known for its cultural heritage. Odissi music, Odissi dance, Odia literature, and what have you. All these things are there in Odisha. Some of it we like to project to you during our 2 days conference in our entertainment programs. And so, I am sure that you will enjoy your stay here. We have been very happy to have been associated with Utkal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It was indeed a pleasure to be with such distinguished people. Perhaps you have a membership of something like 700 or so. About 1,000 members, such a huge organization, and we really feel proud to be associated with them. And they have provided us the infrastructure which you can see, and also the logistics support whenever required. We have been able to get 6 sponsors who have been with us, who are in association with the financial support from these organizations. We have been able to hold the conference. Their names are there, and I am sure that delegates, 1, 2 or more, will also be here. With this, I would wish all the delegates a very enjoyable stay in Bhubaneswar, and I close. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor S.C. Mishra, for the beautiful deliberation explaining about the objective of this international conference. It is indeed the privilege of UCCL to get associated with Frost. I now request the chief guest and other dignitaries in the dais to please release the souvenirs and the proceedings. Dita. It proceedings that are souvenir.